थांबा मॅडम सॉरी एक मिनिट Good morning, all. Sorry for delay due to internet issues. We got late. Good morning, one and all. Respected head of our institute, Dahibadi College, Dahibadi, that is Principal Dr. S.T. Sankhe sir, all the faculty members, Coordinator IQAC, Dr. A.N. Dadas sir, Speaker of today's national webinar, that is Dr. N.L. Tarwar sir, and all the faculty members and students. I welcome you all for this national webinar. I am very much thankful for accepting invitation. Tarwar sir. Now I would like to propose glimpse of or brief information regarding this national webinar. This webinar is regarding or conducted jointly by IIC and PD3P4 activity, in which the title of this webinar is Design Thinking and Critical Thinking. Now, this activity is especially for all the science students, inculcates the critical thinking and design thinking in students to reach approach of theirs. Our speakers and the resource person and keynote speaker will focus on that respectively. Now I would like to request Dr. A.N. Dadas sir, which is keynote speaker of this webinar. Please sir, guide us and share your valuable views on the seminar. Dadas sir, over to you sir. Am I audible sir? You there? Okay. PD3P4 is the long form of this activity is project design, develop, demonstrate, presentation, and patent production. IIC stands for Institution Innovation Council, which is the MHRD's one of the best practice or activity. We are here conducting jointly this webinar under these two activities. Now, I request to our speaker Okay, now I would like to request our today's speaker of this webinar, Dr. Rawal sir, please guide our student about the webinar. Over to you, sir. Tarwal sir.
सर आगे प्रोजेक्ट एक मिनट मुलं का जॉईन झाली नाही कोण लेक्चर घेते का माझा पासवर्ड कोण बदलायचा त्याच्यात करते सेटिंग
Shortly, our resource person will join.
माहिती आहे का कुठून बघायचं मला आठवतच नाही मला इथे जॉईन करायचं पासवर्ड
Welcome, sir.
Welcome, ma'am.
Okay, brief introduction about the today's resource person, Dr. N.L. Tarwal, sir. Now, sir, serving as assistant professor in Department of Physics, Shivaji University, Kolhapur. Previously, he had worked as head of department and assistant professor in Lal Bahadur Shastri until 2017, and before that, from 2011 to 2014, he worked as research postdoctoral research fellow. He has bagged many awards, and his research area is ZNO thin films regarding the application solar cell and supercapacitors. Sir also worked or contribute social work as well as research work. As the time being already delayed due to internet issues, I request you, sir, to start the webinar.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Over to you, sir.
Yeah. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good afternoon to all. Respected Principal Dr. S.T. Salunke, sir. Respected Coordinator of the IQSC, Dr. A.N. Dadas, sir. Then respected Organizing Secretary, President of IIC, P.A. Sheikh, sir. Then convener of this IIC of today's function, Dr. V.B. Mamalaya, then Dr. M.J. Lubal, and my student friends. Today I am going to deliver a talk on the critical as well as the design thinking. May I now share my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
सर नेक्स्ट इशू होता म्हणून ना हेच झालं सगळं डिले झालं आता जॉईन आहेत ना सर तुम्ही
Yeah. Is
तो
it visible?
प्रोग्राम होता ना सर आता
Yes, sir. It's screening.
सर आम्ही सगळ्या दाखवतो ते स्नेक चालत नव्हतं व्यवस्थित
Make a slide show, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now it's okay?
Yes, yes. It's on screen.
Yeah. Once again, good afternoon to all. I am Dr. N.L. Tarwal. I am assistant professor in Shivaji University, Kolhapur. I am from the Department of Physics. Okay, this is a presentation on the critical as well as the design thinking. I will explain one by one here. Actually, this is my outline of my presentation where I will discuss about what is meant by thinking, then types of thinking, then critical thinking, then design thinking, then some problem solving, and finally I will conclude my talk by the decision making. Yeah. As somebody is talking, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, first question is that actually how we can arrange such a program, because there is answer. Okay, the purpose of organizing such an event to motivate the teachers and the college students as well as the inspiring the young minds. This is the purpose for organizing such events. Okay, and actually why we need of the critical as well as the design thinking. Actually, to find out finding the number of alternative for one problem. This is the one of the thing or one of the main idea to critical thinking. Yeah. Again, I will explain here what is meant by thinking. Actually, thinking is just a logical activity, or it is a say it is an act of ability to produce a thought. Okay. This is the ability to produce a thought, means we have to just make in our mind some thoughts. The people think about the almost and anything, okay, but with and without any reason. This is called as a thinking. Okay, in thinking, the logical behavior in which ideas, images, then mental representations and other hypothetical elements of the thought are experienced or manipulated. Okay, now thinking can be two ways. Okay, one is one should think like a green thinking, and another person think like a red thinking. Okay, the green thinking is nothing but the instinctive and the automatic. It is just spontaneous thinking, then unconsciously guided. But the red thinking is just like higher order executive functioning, then thinking about the some processes, and he some analyzes and assesses. Okay, see, this one is the just like a green thinking. Here the unconscious mixture of the high quality and the low quality thinking. It is just like a spontaneous process. We can say it is a spontaneous. Suddenly we can think it is like a green thinking. Okay, then it impulsive, then it's reflexive, then it is uncontrolled. We can say it is uncontrolled, means at any time we just think. That is called as a green thinking. uh, Reverse to it, it is a red thinking. Red thinking is just like a thinking. When our thinking stop, then it assess itself before going forward. Means just we have to think something, we just think, and after that, after thinking our thinking, just we are thinking and thinking more thinking. We have to just means we can think in a deep way. That is called the red thinking. Okay, in a red thinking mode, we actively work in to eliminate prejudices, then biases, then dysfunctional thinking from the our thinking. We actively work on the our thinking. Okay, then we rigorously apply the intellectual standards to our thinking. Now thinking tell us, actually when we think something about, then we just then our thinking tell us what there is, then what is happening inside, or what is happening around the around the world or around the country. Then what is our problems, then what our opinions are, then what threatens us, who threatens us, what is important, what is what is unimportant. That are the things we just made the we just make the we just have the answer of when we are thinking. Okay, these are these so many questions. Who we are, then who are our friends, who are our enemies, like that. When we think ourselves, then we can get the answer of this one. Okay, now thinking determines what we learn. Means actually what we learn, how we learn, what we think is important to learn, then what reports we should explain, then what we think is true. Actually our thinking is true, or our thinking is we can say false. We have to just determine true or false. Then how things should be viewed, then whether our learning is high or low quality. This is the example of the thinking which determines so many things like this one. Okay, now the thinking includes so many parameters like critical thinking, then design or creative thinking, we can say, then decision making, then problem solving. There are some emotions also which includes in the thinking. Now this is the critical thinking. The critical thinking is just not a thinking. We can say it is not a thinking, but but thinking which entails self improvement. Means while we have to just improve ourselves, just we have to think in twice. Therefore the critical thinking is thinking about your thinking. Okay, means when we stop our thinking, then again we have to just criticize to our first thinking. Then after that there is there we can start the critical thinking. While you are the thinking, in order to make your thinking better, means for the thinking better we need some critical thinking here. Actually the simple way we can define the critical thinking, means thinking after the thinking. This is the simple way to define the critical thinking. Now the critical thinking is not new here, but this is the just in 1605, the one author, that is Francis Bacon, who wrote the first book on the critical thinking, the advancement of the learning. Okay, this is a not new critical thinking. See, this is a long back, that is a 16th century, we can say. That time the author, that is Francis Bacon, he wrote one book. Okay, and earlier the Socrates is there, that is he's the great philosopher. Okay, and he wrote like this one, like so many, he just asked to that society, as well as he asked to himself also so many questions. Then why the, actually there is one I think scientific event is there. He just actually we daily in daily life we just see the sun is rising from the east direction, and it goes like west. Okay, then actually he just thought like this one, why sun is going to east to west. And that is the, actually that time he just some draw some diagram, and he think on that problem. And after that he just concluded that actually sun is not rotating, but the earth is rotating like that. He just concluded there. Now this is the just difference between the ordinary thinking and the critical thinking. This is the just difference, means just ordinary thinking means just thinking as usual, we can say. It's suddenly we can talk like this one, but the critical thinking is not suddenly, but we have to judge, means ourselves. That is called as a critical thinking. Now these are the some time means these are the some points here. Just thinking is as usual without any pattern, then no discipline in the thinking here for the ordinary thinking, then no not any curiosity is there, then not looking for the alternatives or possibilities, then it accept fact without examination, which is happen in the ordinary thinking. Now when we take the example of the critical thinking here, then we have to go, that's the deeper and deeper with the set of the information. Now the curious to find to know the anything here. In the critical thinking we need some curiosity to find out the solution of the problem, various problems, and after we have to find some we have to find some problem, we need some curiosity only here. Now be open-minded for the seeking the possibilities. Here in critical thinking there are some members who are open-minded because they just open the various ways of the critical thinking. Now the text, it takes some proper time to arrive at the conclusion and the decision, but here we don't know because this is just sudden thinking, we can say. Now the critical mind, which can be stated as which is equal to the educated mind. Okay, and in order to substantial learning of the educated mind, we need just like hear, then just say, hear, then read, write, and apply. This is the thing five actually the processes for the in order to just holistic development of the any people for the critical thinking. Now these are the some attributes. These are the some attributes of the critical thinkers. The critical thinker is just seated here, but he just firstly go to the observation. Okay, he just to observe what are the things going on near in the society, near to us. Then he just find out something, some problems are there or something is going on. Then after that he just the second step of the critical thinkers, just he did some analysis, then interpretation of the what he observed like that, then what he wrote some reflection, then evaluation, he did some evaluation, then inference, then explanation, then problem solving, and finally he goes to the decision making. Okay, and after that, after this following this procedure, then he just made some conclusion like this one. Okay, and that is the final conclusion. Now for the critical thinkers, we need some we have to some we need have to some five major skills. Like one is the observation. Its observation is ability to notice and predict the opportunities. And second one, it should be some analyze the problems here, then understanding and interpretation of the information. Because here while observing the anything here means we can do some experiment, then we just taking the observation, and after observation we have to do some analysis on the observation, like we have to do some interpretation from that obtained data. This is the second procedure. And finally actually third one is the just inference, which is which means the mid conclusion here. Actually after getting this some and after interpreting this data, then we just draw some conclusion from that one. Okay, this data, and this is called the inference. Okay, and after getting some mid conclusion, we have to just decide whether this information is good or whether this information is not good. We can say this is a decision making path is here. Okay, now it shows some sharing of the information with others in verbally, non-verbally, and in writing ways. Okay, and after that finally we can say that is a problem solving capacity or properties we needed for the critical thinkers to looking for the solution for the analyze and discuss information here. Now skills you should cultivate, like okay, in order to just make the creative thinker, or we can say design thinker, we have to just make some skill into the thinker here. What are the skills? Then actually become an active learner. Okay, he should be become active learner, because after he after making after making the active learner, he then and then only he just make the critical thinker. Okay, now he have to chase some answer, then actively see out the solution. Actually, we are asking so many questions, okay, but we don't know the answers. Then we have to go to other answers. Okay, go to the answers. We just have to don't wait for the answers, okay, to come with us. Okay, this is the thing, means we have to, if there is some problem, then we have to go to the answer of that problems only. We don't actually don't wait for the answers comes to us. Okay, now the second point is that become open-minded. Okay, it is impossible that there are the multiple correct answers. Is You might be wrong or why. Okay, there are the some members. Okay, means in order to discuss some one problem is there, you are here and other members are here, because you are telling them which one is the best answer to that questions. Okay, but other member is not correct, he is telling like that, yes, my answer is correct. Likewise, actually the other members, they will just say the answers of that questions. Means in that case we have to just open-minded become, because we have to just open-minded and find out whether he is correct or not. Okay, this is the thing here. Now separation means separate the emotions from the fact. Actually thinking and the feeling are not the same. Okay, yeah, therefore we have to just separate our emotions from the fact here. Then we have to just avoid the logical falses. We can see this one is a logical one problem is there. If somebody from the school, okay, or college, he just asked like question 2 plus 2, then that is only 4, we can write 5, that is a incorrect way. Means just we have to just stay with the logical things. Okay, and we just avoid the logical falses there. And then therefore we just write we will be there for the logical sense. Okay, now likewise we have some additional activities, like we have to read some books, then take advantage of the extracted of the opportunities. Like there are so many courses like Swayam, then NPTEL. There are so many courses that is online and offline mode. We have to take the advantage of the extracted of that opportunities. Likewise, there are so many seminars are there. Then we have to just attend in order to get this more knowledge from that seminar. Likewise, another activity like participants in the discussions. We have to some. There are some members who made the discussion between them about one problem. Actually we don't know, actually their own mind having the own questions, like this one is a girl and this one is a boy and this one is girl, like another boy girl, they just made some discussion about one problem. We don't know, because they are coming from the different area, they have their own questions and they're in their minds. Okay, that's why we don't know. Therefore we have to just understand what is the what other member just he or she told. Okay, then after that we have to just talk to the teacher and then take the new information you have gathered, try it out and just experiment with it. Okay, active learning is most important in this process. We have to just learning, but active learning is more important. Means in order to here there are the two learnings, like passive learning and active learning. Means actually passive learning means what, only one way is a teacher is going to deliver his talk, like that one. But active learning is not nothing that it is just like a contrast to the passive learning. Means our students are just some he's actually telling to the teacher, and teacher is also asking some questions to the students, and there are some interaction session. That is called as the active learning process, and this is very important in order to the critical thinking. Yeah, now these are the some things to keep in mind. Means keep up keep an open mind. I already told them, think before you act. Actually we have to, when we act something, then we are not thinking, but in from now we have to think twice before we act. Okay, this is very important in our life also. Now see, this is one boy which is just having some burdens of the so many goals on his actually its head, we can say head. So actually how to build the critical thinking skill. Now see, there are some like a pyramid. Then we have to just remember, then understand, then apply, then analyze, then evaluate, then create. Okay, don't take any burden of your own thoughts and all the goals. Okay, and after means when you are not taking any burdens, then and then only you just think critically. Now see this one, you think for yourself. It's just like a beginning to think, and the beginning to think is about your thinking. Okay, now to begin to think about your thinking is make a list of many any problem, or we can say we have some many problem, make a list of them you believe current exist of your thinking. Try to be the explicit as possible. The more problems you identify, the better one. And for each problem you identify and complete the following statement like this one. Actually, one member, when student from your colleges, he came, and my one problem is my thinking like is a dot dot dot. He said like this one. Then my problem is this is my problem, which is this. He will find some cause behind that problem. That is, this is problem because of this one. Okay, if I adequately and address this problem, the quality of my life would improve in the following ways like this one. Okay, see, this is the critique you are thinking. Consider you are thinking in this domain of your life, at work, at your home, in teaching, in your relationship, like as a reader, as a writer, or planning your life, then dealing with some emotions, in figuring out complex situations. Okay, complete this sentence like, okay, right now I believe my thinking across my all domains of my life is good or bad. I don't know good or bad. Okay, just I based this judgment on some our properties like this one. Okay, now some members will say, yeah, I believe my thinking across my domain are good quality, and some may say, no, I am not going well. Okay, see, this is the condition here. In the following area, I think very well. Some in the following area, my thinking is okay, not great. Some is like to say, but not very terrible, like this. Oh, it's good, it's very bad, like the he will actually say like this one. Okay, now in the following area, some my thinking is like probability low quality, then good quality. Then list at least 3 areas for the same of each. Okay, each of the above. Then and then only just you just think and of your domain, and you just find which one is your good qualities and which are your bad qualities. And in order to just improve your critical thinking, you just go to the good qualities, and yes, you have to drop the bad qualities of your here your own things. Okay, now the critical thinking is not driven by the answer. We can see here, it is not driven by the answer, but it is driven by the questions that you ask. Okay, means what questions you ask, that depends on the critical thinking. Now see, this is the example. In various way our mind or this person is think like critical thinking way. Okay, in various way he think like he thought like this way. Okay, and this is a famous quote by the Albert Einstein. The important thing is that to stop questioning. Okay, to stop questioning is not important, means it's not the important thing. Okay, the important thing is not to stop the questioning, means we have to ask a question and question to our teachers, then our in family members. We can say we have to ask the question, the curiosity. After that, after questioning this to the family members or teachers or any persons, then our curiosity just built out. Okay, the curiosity has its own reason for the existing, and after getting curious, the child, he will search for the new things. Okay, this is the quote, famous quote by the Albert Einstein. And this is some tree diagram here. There, see this, there are some number 1 2 3 like this one, means the branches, various branches of this tree, that critical thinking trees, he just think like this way. Okay, first he will have some clarification of the idea, then after he go for the questioning here, and after questioning he has some problem here, and then there is some reason, then meaning, then potential. Like, see, these are some he will find his potential, whether he is going to do this thing or not. These are the things. Likewise, he secondly thought like this way, this like assumption. He has some assumption whether that problem is which is actually real or not real, like that. He's assumed like that one, and after getting assumption, he just thought like assumption. Yeah, this is there, means actually by this way he sometimes go to the misleading. Okay, and after going to misleading, he just stop somewhere and he just made a conclusion like this one. But here sometimes he just actually he is just like a correct one. That time he gave some justification and finally some correction. Yeah, this wise he needs some probing, then like evidences, then possible implementation, like, and finally he will go to the some outcome. Okay, these are the some tree. Actually, see this one, I told this one means actually there are the some famous science fiction. Yeah, there are the some members means science fiction books, actually the science fiction writers who wrote science fiction histories or science fiction books. Suppose we have some best science fiction author like Jayant Narlikar is there, like then Bal Phonke is there, then we can say Achyuta Godbole is there. They wrote like thinking one book, like see this one is a Basmasu, then Antaraj is Jadlenate. They wrote like books. Okay, actually that thing we are not happening in our real life. This is the thing. But when they just think means they just critically thinking, and after that critically thinking he wrote like somewhere some aliens are there. Actually some of the students member they just see the, actually they have seen the movies like PK, the Amir Khan, he is coming from the some space flights to the earth, and that is just like a, but he is not a actual man, we can say it is alien. Likewise the Koi Mil Gaya, the new movie from the, I think Hrithik Roshan is there. That time alien they came from the space flights. That is just like a science fiction means after thinking, actually we don't know the aliens are means present or not, but there is some movie. Okay, means this movie, these types of the movie they just come because curious means the critical, after the critical thinking of that director. Okay, these are the things. Now see, this is just like we can say frame me. Yeah, just wait. Yeah, when just we have to just ask the questions like constantly we have to ask some questions. Then first question is like what we need, why, what is the important, who is there, like where, when, how, why, more questions. And this is important for the our critical thinking. Okay, suppose we are taking the one example of light. Light is a very simple way. Light is very simple, we can say it looks like a very simple, but asking asking so many questions to the one word that is light. So this one is the, what is speed of light. One student from your class will ask one, what is speed of your light. Then another will, who calculates the speed of light. Then where does the light originate. The first when first light bulb is invented, how light behaves like in the different media, why light is faster than the anything in the universe. So many questions, like the one word that is light came. Okay, and this is the process of critical thinking. Yeah, now see, this one is some one of the famous scientists, that is a Newton is there. The milestone example of the critical thinker, Newton, Isaac Newton. He's just sat on the under the trees of the apple here. Okay, and one apple just fall on his head. We just like we have some story like this one. Then he just think means why did apple fall towards the earth, not go upside, okay, upward. This is the main question who just actually Newton think on that questions. Now after thinking, just he just neglecting that means thought, he will never discover the gravity. Okay, but he think critically, and then and only he just found the some gravity discovery. Okay, now the Isaac Newton is famous for the discovery of the gravity. When we saw the falling of apple while thinking about the force of nature, okay, whatever really happened, actually Newton realized that some forces must be acting on the falling object like apple, because otherwise they would not start moving from the rest. Okay, this is the conclusion he made like this one. Now the another big thinker, we can say it is a big critical thinker. We already know the person, that is Einstein, Albert Einstein. Actually he just think like theory of relativity, like speed of light is just like a constant, and no other things will travel with the speed of light, we can say. Okay, this is some assumption, means velocity of light means constancy of a light. This is the assumption from him, and after that he just made one conclusion, that is a theory of relativity, and he wrote some 2-3 papers to the best and renowned journals, and he just we can say it is the father of theory of relativity. And he made some very nice that is one equation, a famous equation, that is E is equal to mc square. Okay, he's a big critical thinker, we can say. Actually, he did not actually light. He had some actually own thought, okay, of light. Before to him, actually light is there, but they are not taking the light as a important here. But after the actually Einstein, he just made some that light, great light on the light. Okay, yeah. Now another example of the sea. This is in our actually one of the famous scientists who invented the actually discovery of the this one. He invented the X-ray. Actually, when he is working in his lab, that is while working on a cathode ray tube, that is a German scientist William Röntgen noticed something strange. Actually, some light is coming from that actually in that cathode ray tube. And what happening to the while he was actually he was looking towards the screen, and then something is flashed like that one, and he observed something. But what if he let is as it is, then there is no discovery of the X-ray. But he was very curious and thought critically, and then he replaced the screen with the photographic plate. And after that, the first X-ray film was ever created by the Röntgen. And this one is the first X-ray of his wife, okay, Röntgen wife, actually hands. Okay, this is the first X-ray film. And this is the discovery. Such a discovery is like a critical thinking. Okay, now what is our job? Okay, what we will do? Then critical thinking involves skill at the recognizing pattern in the given information, especially recognizing how the information is concerned connected to the real world. Okay, here are the couple of very questions, means we can very simple example. First, I will take one problem. See, there are some number, we can say there are some words like cruise ship, then bicycle, then aeroplane, then walking on the foot, automobile, not a race car, but just like a bike, we can say here, automobile. Okay, then just one question like to the student, just now put them in order to slowest to fast, means which one is slow, then you have to write, just think critically and just write like, okay, and which one is the fast should be the at last, and slow with the first one. Okay, this is the thing when they are going to the maximum speed like this one. Here, who will go to the maximum speed? The aeroplane is there. Okay, aeroplane will be the last. This is the like a thinking we have to just, and while thinking here, we have to take the advantage of the speed also here. Means while looking to speed, we have to arrange the, okay, here. Okay, then there is some another problem is here. Okay, here you are at the bank of the river and told to collect exactly 4 liters of water. Means you are just going to the river bank. Okay, if there is some river near to the Hevadi, then you just go to there. Then somebody told, like your teacher told to just take the 4 liters from the water. Okay, actually from that river. A problem is that you have the only 2 bucket. Only one bucket is just like a 5 liter and another is a 3 liter. Then using 2 bucket, 5 liter bucket and 3 liter bucket, how it is possible to getting the 4 liter bucket of water? Okay, this is just like a questions like of critical thinking. Then actually, as I asked to some members, but there are some question like this one, means what we will do for this. Okay, after knowing this question, then what we will do? Okay, the answer is like stepwise. We have to go for stepwise. The answer is, means firstly take the water in the 5 liter bucket and pour into the 3, means this is a 5 liter bucket and here we have some 0. Okay, 0 liter. Then 5 liter bucket and poured into the 3 liter bucket, release the water from the 3 liter bucket into the river like this one. Okay, means 5 liter we have to take like here, just pour only the 2 liter, and remaining 5 liter we have to lift into the river. Okay, now the second, actually here the second is there, but now the pour the 2 liter water from the 5 liter bucket to the 3 liter bucket and fill the water into the 5 liter bucket from the river, this one. Okay, now see here we have the 2 liter here, then here. Okay, now just we have to just pour this one here, and then see this one is from river to here, 5 liter to here 0 liter, then something. Okay, here another process is here, means procedure here. Now pour this 5 liter bucket into the 3 liter bucket. Okay, now quantity of the 1 liter is remaining. Okay, here likewise the remaining water in the 5 liter bucket is less, just like 4 liter here. Now this is the actually question, means it's a critical thinking. It's just like step 1 and step 2 and step 3. Okay, we have to follow the simple step. These are the simple, but we have to follow that step. Means the critical thinking is just like always a stepwise. Means missing one step, it is not go to the your conclusion. Means the missing one step will change your solution as well as your final results. Now what hinders, means what affects the critical thinking? This is the one practice of rational thinking. Then personal biases, means practical practice of the rational thinking, means just we have to think very simple way, means like a common way, a common man thinking. This is not happening here, means which hinders the actually critical thinking. Okay, another thing is that the personal biases, means if we have some personal biases with that person, if you are doing job in the company, then it is not possible to think critically. Then we have some inherited opinions in your mind. If you have some come from the different region of the Maharashtra or India or world, then you have some your own inherited opinion in your mind, and that hinders the critical thinking. Then intellectual laziness, that is very important thing which hinders the critical thinking. It's intellectual laziness, means we have some laziness, means like bodhic alas. Okay, we have some that one, and if you have some intellectual laziness, we can't think critically. Okay, now in order to move towards the design thinking from the critical thinking, actually madam we have some time, right? Yeah. Now when we move to the critical thinking, from the critical thinking to the design thinking, then we need some creativity like this one. Okay, now the creativity leads us towards the design thinking, and imaginations are the drivers of the creativity. And the Einstein is famous for the imagination. He did not perform single experiment in the lab, but he just thought like, yeah, this is happening like this way. Okay, now the creative person who bridges the gap between these two. Okay, critical thinking and the design thinking. Now this is the person who is creative, having the balloon of the creativity with his hand. Okay, now this is the design thinking. It is a process of that focuses solving problems using tools, processes, and strategies. Various strategies he has to use for solving the so many problems, we can say. Now what are the do's we have to do for the design thinking? Yeah, first we have to thinking of design. What should be the design? Okay, then thinking about the design, then thinking through the design. Okay, these are the some thinking, means do's in the design thinking. Firstly, thinking of design means to imagine it. Okay, to imagine, visualize, and dream up new understanding. And then thinking about the design, to consider, reflect, and deliberate ways to study the perception, then expectation and capabilities. And thinking of through the design means the ability to use the design methods and the principles to the address uncertainty and the complexity. Okay, now mapping between the critical thinking and the design thinking, this is very important actually thing. Means how we can map the critical thinking and the design thinking. Just first one is the observing. Okay, means observing means then feeling, then wondering, then imagining, then knowledge, then identifying and analyzing the argument. These are some important steps for the mapping. Suppose your school went to some museum. Okay, actually your college students, they went to museum. Okay, this is a very simple act they will do. Okay, then some of them, they just observe artifacts like articles in the museum, various museums. Observe, actually there are some swords, and then just like some other other historical articles in the museum. They just saw, okay, and they just observed. Okay, this is called observing the various things. Okay, this is thing. And then he just one member, one who is just like a critical thinker, then just feel like glorious history, how the sword of the Shivaji Maharaj, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, like feeling, he feel like the glorious history of the articles or artifacts there. Then how wondering, the wondering component of the critical thinking is engaged when the questions are formulated, means wondering about the how the articles or artifacts made in that era. So there are so many, means we can say is heavy swords are there, very sharp swords are there, means some students from your college, they just think like how it is possible, means we are looking to our just like a fort, then the fort are built on the very top height, okay, and we are thinking how that time the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and all the kings, they made the fort in at that level. We are now thinking with that is see, this one is wondering. Now this is the another that is procedure, that is imagining. The imagining component of the critical thinking is engaged when the possible answer to the questions. Okay, now actually imagine what happened there. Imagining the historical event in the mind means that time we just go to in the past, in that era, and we just imagine, oh, yeah, this time this is happening, like this way. Okay, we have to imagine like this way. And imagination is very important for the critical thinker as well as the design thinker. And this one imagination means actually this is just we can say after imagining we have to go for the critical thinking. Okay, now the knowledge, we have to acquire knowledge. Actually we saw some swords in the museum, we don't know actually whose sword is there, then how many swords are available, then what are the types of the swords, like so many questions are arise in our mind. And this is a, we have to take gather the knowledge of we can say some information, okay, about the same. Now this is the example, gathered the knowledge of by asking questions about the artifacts. Okay, now finally there is the last one, we can say identifying the analyzing the arguments. Okay, when one identify the content and structure of the argument and they evaluate its strength. Okay, now that time we can take the example like make our own arguments and identify whether they are true or false. Okay, that based on your arguments. Now that this is the difference between the critical thinking and the, we can say, one should like a design thinker. Then in critical thinker thinking, or he should be like a judgment, his judgment in the, just like in nature. Then selective, the mind is limited to think. Then employed in the organization business area. Then process of assessing. Then analytical in purpose. While the design thinker, he just a non judgmental in nature. Then expansive, he should be not selective. The mind is free for the design thinker to think anything creative. Then employed in the areas such as the poetry, novel writing, short writing, then short story writing, then fiction writing, process of imagining, then generative in the purposes. Okay, now this is the many organization innovate from the inside out and outside in approach. Okay, we know how to make it, so we should. Okay, and with the design thinking, here we can allow that your team to think more that outside in. Okay, what do customers really want, and that may not have thought of the ourselves. Okay, now this is the design thinking framework. We have to emphasize first, then just define, then ideate, then prototype, then testing. This is the some actually flowchart for the design thinking framework. Now this is the empathy, means understanding about the problems. Generally we starting, this is the starting point, then we just define the different routes based on the new knowledge from the empathy, then ideate or imagining that problem, generate as many ideas as possible to serve these identified needs. Then we just made some prototype or concrete plan. We have some concrete plan to build up a representation of one or more your ideas to show the others. Now the text, finally test and feedback is very important. Take the feedback from the others, teachers, guides, and apply to your idea is not clear or not good. Okay, then after getting feedback, your actually idea is more beneficial. Now think design thinking process. Here we have some, I already told, the emphasize, then frame, then ideate, and the prototype test. Here then diverge converge is there. Then this is a problem space, and we have to come solution space. Okay, now this is a design challenge to the, we can go to the design solution. Now thinking, while thinking the design means design thinking and methods and tools, we need some like design challenges there, then stakeholder mapping, constant mapping, road mapping. Then there are so many factors like journey mapping, then brainstorming is there, think different, think wrong, brain writing, like so many things are there. And after that, after thinking this way, you should go for the prototype devices. Okay, now the properties of the design thinking: to face the constructively the tension of the opposite idea, we have to some iterative, then integrative, then people focused. Okay, these are the some properties of the design thinking. Now see, this one is our actually car making factory is there, and see, this is the early age, we can say, the design of the factory during the modern industrialization. Okay, in 1914. See, this is just like a design, means critical thinking that time. Oh, we have to make some car. This is the thinking, and after his thinking, she just made some critical thinking, and this made of this some like we can say this is a factory of the here. See, this is after time. This is actually time consuming. It has some less hand. This is related to the human. Actually, humans' hands are necessary for the creating this job. But while design thinking here, while design thinking, they just design some robot to make the some parts of the actually this car. And the design of the factory in the 21st century, at that time the less number of the workers are available for here. Instead of worker, the robot will work. Okay, here their work actually. Now it shows some, it reduces the time for the production, as well as the best accuracy we can find from the robot work. Okay, this is the thinking, means design thinking. This is a actually example of the design thinking. Now another example is like this one is our lens. We can find our in your physics lab. The simple principle of the lens is just like means light should be just we have to collect the light in one point, we can say that is the focus. Okay, we have to focus the light in. There are the two types of the lenses. One is a convex lens, and this is a concave lens. Then this light is just focused here, and this light is just like scattered from this way. Okay, now the critical, there are the two persons looking to this lens. One is the critical thinker, give idea of this one about the lens, of the laws of reflection, laws of actually refraction, then resolution, then magnification. He will understand the ideas of the physics. Okay, lens of physics of the lens. But the design thinker, he used that lens for his next invention. Okay, the design thinker used these laws in real life application using the design thinking ability. Why I'm telling this? Because another person, that is a Galileo Galilei, is very big one, that he actually made this actually we can say this one is a very he used very nicely that actually convex lens and concave lens he used for the telescope, making the telescope, this one. Okay, now how to become a design thinker? You just see the actually one article. Look, actually that article is just in your lab, but see this one, this fellow take that article and he just made the one discovery, like actually making the telescope. Okay, for seeing the so many far planet which are too far from us, very simple in your lab. Okay, this is called a telescope, and he just made telescope. This is very critical, and after thinking critically, he just made for the design thing. Okay, now one critical idea that combined two lenses and one telescope. Okay, this is the thing. Now not only the wheels and so many mayors. Okay, actually in last, I mean in fast hour, in there are some wheels made up of the stones here. This is our history. Okay, but now you can see the wheels are not our part of our actually life, but they just actually they are made essential part here. Okay, here see, this one is our cycle, which is made up of this actually actually wheels, these wheels. Okay, not only the wheels, there are the different types of the, just like we can say some automobiles, then we have to say cycles, then actually industry in industry we use the fields, different types of the fields. Okay, and this is the actually design thinking. This is a critical thinking, means if there is stone and this, that person, he just made the from from stone to that field. Okay, this is his actually his creative mind, he just made that field. But design thinker will do actually up to the next at that critical thinker, means he just made the some wheels of the airplane, then just wheels for the actually industry, and the wheels for the bicycle, then wheels for the car. Okay, now this is the just like after imagination. Now ways to boost your imagination for the digital designing. These are the some points. I will not go to these points, I will escape this one. Okay, just one by one we have to go like this one. Now this is the historical growth in order to develop our mobile. See, our mobile is just like this one, means the size of the mobile and computer goes on just like a decreasing. This is because of the design thinking. But earlier, when we are at the time of our early age, we can say young when I was at the MSc level, then that time our phones are not available, means like Sony, Samsung are not available. Only the Nokia phone is there. Okay, that time. And Nokia is that like number, I think I remember number 1100 that was present. Means only one mobile app actually was there, and after that you just see and the size of the mobile. Then after some times, I think 10 years back, there are the China mobiles is a large one, and the memory is there, so many things are there. But that was banned, China mobiles. But here in India nowadays, the size of the mobile and size of the computer and size of the small things are goes on decreasing because the invention of the design thinkers. Okay, various invention, they just think like how we can mount so many electronic devices in very small area. This is the actually design thinking. They just think design, actually they just think differently and design the model. See, yeah. Now the ways to improve the design thinking, just this is the first term, this is the first point, that is skill based certificate courses. There are the various skill based certificate courses for students. You have to go for this. Actually, these are the some free actually courses. You have to go the NPTEL, then SWAYAM, then you have to go for the these two. Okay, these actually institutions are there, and you just go for the certificate courses in the office automation, then soft skill, then certificate course in the soft skill communicative English, then certificate course in the audio video editing, then graphic design. Design thinking is a skill and technique you must train and exercise to become a good as it is. Then organization like this, I already told, like this organization, they just have some online courses platform. And then these are the some second point, that offline seminar, we have to go for the offline seminar, we have to go for this conference and workshop in order to gather the some additional information regarding the thinking. Okay, then personal development courses, then online webinars we have to arrange. Like I congratulate today's actually organizers for the organizing this such types of webinars in order to motivate the students of your colleges. Then some lecture series we have to arrange. See, another actually I just put here one quote of the Albert Einstein, which is a very famous scientist in physics here as well as in theory of relativity. And we can say in our life also he is very famous one. If he had some, okay, Albert Einstein told like this one: if I had an hour, okay, he has some 60 minutes with him to solve the problem, then he will do what we will do. He will spend 55 minutes for the thinking about the problem, and 5 minutes, only 5 minutes he will give for the thinking about the solution. But in our case it's very different, means like we just thinking reversely. For solving means we have to think about the problem, we can take the 5 minutes, and just for the thinking about the solution we have just, means in our actually daily life we have to some give question for the only one, actually one line, but your answer is like big one. That's one, means you are for answering, writing answer we need some more time than the question. This is actually problem. Then problem solving method is there. Then we have to actually identify the problem, the difficulty of the problem, actually which can overcome to help the solutions. Okay. Now actually five why questions are there, means it's simply asking why. Actually in Japan is a very business oriented country. If you have some questions like this one, then you just that people just ask. Actually the five whys means you just ask like five why, where, why, like this one we have to ask for them. Then this is called the question system, means after questioning that people, he will answer, means you will get some data from him. Okay, this is the thing. And after actually one question you have to ask twice, thrice, then we have to 5 times you just ask why you come, why you are late, like this one. Then this is just like a data collection. Now beneath of the five whys, simple technique, just ask some simple question. It is flexible, offers countermeasure rather than the causes, then uncover the deepest cause of the problem. Yeah, it will show some ways to simplify the problem, then ability diagram, then cause of the effect diagram, then flow chart. We have to need this one. Then problem solving system process, we have to recognize the problem, understand problem, hypothesis, we have to build a hypothesis, then analyze the information, recombine the information, check the hypothesis, then decision making skill is there. Now the simple problem, I will take one simple problem. Actually one question is here. Actually some such type of the questions actually usually occur in the MPSC or UPSC. Here the Jack father has 4 sons, 3 of them name as alpha, beta and gamma. Then what is the name of 4th son? Yeah, this is a very simple question. Actually answer is that question. It's just like in this problem only, because first one is Jack's father, means the son name is just like a Jack. Okay, this is the question, means we have to think, and we have to actually think carefully, and just see the carefully the question, and then you just find the solution. Another question is like this one. Suppose you are running from your enemy, and at that and one place you stop. In front of you there are these 3 doors. Okay, म्हणजे तुमच्या मागून कसं आहे की काही शत्रू आलेत आणि तुम्ही एका डोअर पाशी थांबलाय. ओके, each door has own troubles. Behind first door there are the tree taps, म्हणजे there are the traps. ओके, म्हणजे मागून तरी शत्रू येतोय आणि पुढे तर तुम्हाला 3 रोड आहेत. आता बघा त्याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही कोणता चूज करा. पहिल्यामध्ये काय होणार की which can kill you, then second means पहिल्यामध्ये काय की in first door there are the traps. Okay, now beside second door there are the hungry tiger for the 2 years, and then which will kill you when you which will kill you at the site, and the third door are the guards. Then who will, means which door we will choose, means you will choose. This is the question. Now see, this was a very carefully this question, you will find the answer inside this one. Here is trap, you will not go there. You actually goes to back. This is not possible because enemies are coming from the back, and the guard will arrest you. This is thing. And see, this is a question, means this is the answer. Hungry tiger, we are focusing hungry tiger, but he is hungry tiger from 2 years. Actually for 2 years he is not become hungry, he will dead. Okay, this is the thing, and this is the answer for actually these questions. Okay, now this is this is very important actually for design critically and design we can say critically thinking and design thinking. This is the jugaad technology development. Yeah, in India actually some people are making a jugaad. Like jugaad means just like an alternative of the different solutions. Means jugaad technology means it's conversion of the existing research into the local needs. If you have some actually there is some actually thing which is a very very costlier than your actually local need, then he will do a jugaad, means in order to get that thing. Okay, now jugaad is a Hindi word, we can say it is Marathi word also. Okay, which has been in the Oxford, actually included in the Oxford dictionary also, refers to the use of the skill and the imagination to find the easy solution to the problem. This is the definition of the jugaad, or to fix or make in something using the cheap basic atoms. This is a very simple definition of the jugaad. Now the jugaad often celebrated as the example of Indian spirit of the resourcefulness and enterprises. From the innovators inventions to keep the locust away from the invention. I will take some example of the jugaad here. Okay, see, this is the jugaad technology during the COVID-19 pandemic. See, actually all the students just actually their education is just stopped by the minister. They just sit, actually they just sat in the their home. Then actually this one is actually teacher, that is a teacher who teaches like chemistry here. Chemistry, she teach like chemistry, but she actually didn't have some tripod. A tripod is actually costlier, actually cost. She just made some cloth hangers which is connected to the chair. This is a Shuddha Deshi tripod, we can say, and he just built their mobile, her mobile actually on that hanger, and she took her lecture. Okay, now this teacher setting up their online classes with available resources. Actually, we have to go for our available resources, and we have to think critically, and we have to think design in our available resources. This is the main thing here. And see, this one is here, this is a milk person. He have to actually give some milk to the people from this home to that home. Okay, and now actually the see, this one is a social distancing milk delivery. See, there is some use of simple two things are, he just use the panel and one pipe is there. He just make the distribution of the milk to these people without any touching. Okay, this is very simple, and necessity is the mother of the invention. So all the creative people, they just makes very nice design thinking, like they just make the very nice designs like this one in order to get very nice designs. Okay, and inventions also. And nobody can beat the Indians at the jugaad. This is very famous quote, because Indians only, and other peoples also they do, but Indians are very sharp one, and they are built legends. जुगाड़ से पहले ही तैयार, अपना काम बताओ. म्हणजे जुगाड़ पहले से ही तैयार है, अपना काम बताओ. This is actually Twitter. They just had some Twitter at the social for the social distancing here. Now this is the example of the just cycling here in order to just have some actually exercise here by using bicycle. But that exercise, just the wheels are connected to the some charging ports. Okay, means they are just going to exercise here, but they are making their charging of their own devices like mobile and laptops like this one. This is actually design thinking. Now see, this one is very dangerous situation in India also, or we are actually suffering from this actually problem of the plastic waste. Now actually, when we are looking to the plastic waste, actually our college students also see some plastic wells around their colleges. Okay, now while looking to that one, some students are just they just have some spark in their mind. Then what will they will do? Okay, then they will do some bird feeder, then piggy banks, then watering container, then hanging basket, then hanging garden. So many actually these are the actually designs are present, and they will design the plastic bottles for their use. Now this is a problem too. See, in ancient time, for grass cutting, there is no any devices like this one. Only we have some sharp actually device which cuts the grass. Sometimes they just cut by the stones also. But nowadays you can see there is some machine. Okay, that machine, by using the machine, means they just like think critically, and they just make design of this one. Okay, machine which cuts very nicely the grass. Okay, yeah, and which is a less time consuming. Also it will I will take some problem number 3 here, the water pulling from the actually with the help of bucket by using pulley is not possible in a short time. But here there is some electric pump, or we can say diesel pump is there, which water pump can do same work in a few minutes, and for everyone it is possible. Yeah, this is are the some design thinking. Now in desert, very few percent of the rainfall here, and there is a problem of drinking water also there. But still people are living there and farming there. How they are farming and living there? Because the solution is a fog. But fog is available everywhere here, the source of water, and common in the deserts. So collect it with the help of fog. Actually, this one. Okay, we have to collect this fog collector is there, and harvesting the fog. Actually, harvesting the water from the fog. This is a solution. Now, this is also actually one member from the actually Jharkhand. Yeah, this news is published in this actually daily this one India, Dainik India. Here Jharkhand farmer Jugaad turns scooter in the plow. Yeah, he just see this one is our MAT scooter is there, and his name is just Mahesh Karmali. Actually, while plowing this actually the farm, we need some tractor or like ox. Okay, for tractor and buying the ox is very actually not possible for the common people like this one. Then he just made what is the trick? His trick is that he just made spend only 6,000 rupees to develop the tilling actually equipment. He just bought second-hand scooter from the trend and improvised it into the floor for the nearly 6,000 rupees. Yeah, this is a very actually design thinking. It's a great example of the design thinking in our India. Now see, these are some various ideas you can find. See, if there is some charging, if there is something we have to need some for charging, just somebody will take his shoes for charging, and that shoe will just like hang to the charger only. This is the idea. Somebody will make the actually charging points for the by using the actually this can. Then this is just like we can say actually this very simple actually the two glasses are here put onto the one glass is put onto the second glass, and one actually plate is placed on this glass. Actually this is just looking very simple, but it shows some alarm of the actually earthquake. When earthquake start means it happen, it will just oscillate like the plate will fall down and there is some sound. This is the actual indicator of the earthquake. Another, this one is the idea is just like a bike is converted into just like a, we can say it is like a rickshaw, a mini rickshaw is there. And see, this one is just like in farm we have some birds are coming and they just pick up some here actually grains. Therefore, in order to lose the actually in order to survive from that birds, somebody can take the use of this technology, like some actually this one is stone or metallic bob is connected to this one, and which is connected to this side. Means when the actually winds come, it will flow like this way, like and then that rod also come to this direction and it's just like hit and come like this way. There is just sound of that sound make the birds get away from that crop. Yeah, this is very design thinking. Okay, and now this is a drip irrigation system. Some of the students will know how to use the plastic bottle for the drip irrigation system, which is a very necessary for the actually planting the water to the plant. Okay, now this is a segregation of by size. Yeah, see these people actually this man is just segregation the different types of the just fruits here. See he used very critically, means we just thinking differently. He used just only two sticks here. Actually that two sticks just he used like just a distance between the two sticks here more and here low, actually a small one, and just he just put like this way. Okay, now he put like box 1 2 3 4 5 7 like this way. If small one is going to this way, then it will go and actually fall in this actually box, and this bigger one is goes to like this way and it fall like this. It's very simple way. The fruit vendor simple actually yet effective method for the segregation of the fruit by the size. Okay, this is there is some ek tir do nishane. This woman is cycling actually, but while cycling she is actually grinding her floor at home. Yeah, this is a floor grinding machine. Now this is our Siddhigari Museum here in Kaneriwadi, we can say in Kaneri. Yeah, actually we know already our actually people, that is these are the pillars of our society. We can say it is making the pots here, and he is actually there are the 12 peoples. They are just like a critical thinkers. Yeah, and now this is also critical thinking example of he just made different types of the we can say some used for the some actually items used for the making the uh, for the farming. Okay, and he is some critical thinker. He know what is the size, then how he the actually ferrous is just like a heated, and just we have to mold that ferrous after just hitting that ferrous here. Yeah, these are the very critically thinking, and they just make after thinking this way, and they just make their creative thinking, and then they just make the designs, very designs of the actually their atoms. Now these are the some I just took the example here. See, these are the some gobre, we know actually these are the some useful for the our actually burning the instead of gas, we can just burn this one, and in order to find some energy, okay, and from that burning this one we have to some cook our food. Yeah, these are the some just some actually actually sticks are there, and that stick on stick there are the some actually cushion work, or we can say some actually design work they just made, like this one is some tablets. Then see, this one is some pool machine, actually pool making machine is there. Actually there is no one, because here they have to just that machine itself, it builds like this one and it goes like this one itself, it's made a pool like this one. Okay, now these are the some robots are there, they intensely actually the after design thinking it comes. Okay, and this is a green car. Okay, now actually one member from the Avishkar, they just actually see come from the actually this is a cabbage, and just using the means actually sun dryer, a dryer, she makes like actually this one. Okay, that is useful for the food. Different types of the, see this one is just she dried like a cabbage here and made some atoms. Yeah, and then actually soya, we know the soya here, soya actually soya we have some different like soya atoms in our actually in our market. We can find different atoms of the soya. See, this is a very simple, only one soya, we have to find different types of the soya. Now, use of plastic and bucket in the bathroom shower. Suppose you want, you have some bottle, then you, and if you are in your home, you can buy from your you cannot buy the actually shower having the high cost. Then you just make the plastic bottle and just made some holes here, and you can enjoy up the showers like that. If you want to more actually shower, then you just made the bucket holes bottom of the bucket here, and there is, you can find some shower here. Now actually Anupam Kher, one actually our Hindi actor, he just Twitter here. Actually this is a very funny actually this is also a creative, means creative as well as the design thinking. Actually this man is he know he will fall down. That's why he has some idea, he critically thinking, and he used some, see this one is a chance like a someone actually here he just one step, we can say he goes to further step, and he just on his actually stomach he just put one here actually wood here, and see this is a jugaad technology. Actually Anupam Kher shows that we Indians are supposed to be most innovative when it comes to invention of for the necessity, because for him the necessity is there, he will fall. That's why he just used that actually picture. Okay, this picture is shown here. Now actually I conclude my actual talk by Steve Jobs quote: design is not just what it looks like and feel like, design is how it works. Thank you one and all, and I thanks to organizer for giving me this opportunity. Thank you one and all.
Hello, ma'am.
Can I stop, ma'am?
Hello, am I audible? Yes. Now session is open for discussion. All the participants are requested to ask the questions and doubts regarding the webinar, design thinking and critical thinking. After the discussion, we will conclude, and Mr. Kayane sir will propose the vote of thanks. Yes, all the participants are requested to ask their queries. The talk is very flawless and more informative, which I ever heard. Lot of things and ideas were cleared regarding design thinking and critical thinking. As I am the one of audience of this webinar, I personally liked it very much, and also other participant maybe.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I have one doubt, sir. As
Yeah,
it is a webinar entitled Design Thinking and Critical Thinking. Now students are from BSc, BA and BCom. This webinar is especially for our science students.
Yeah, yeah.
Regarding them, what are the tips they can develop regarding critical thinking and design thinking in research purpose or any innovative ideas or practices?
Yeah. Thank you for asking question, ma'am. Actually, for designing, for the doing research, firstly you have to find the problems. Actually, firstly you find the problems which problems I have to search. Okay, this is actually problem finding situation. And after getting the problem means after getting the problems, you have to find the solution different way. Means think actually think for the problems, then think differently what should be the answer of this problem. Yeah, and actually in research we have different problems, and we have many solutions for that problems. Means we have to go systematically one by one we have to go, and after that you will get you will reach to your actually problem, and you will conclude the that problem and solve the problem.
Yes, sir. I have one more doubt. As far as I am a assistant professor here, as a professor means as a teacher, and second one is regarding as a researcher. First question is that if we are a teachers means dealing with lectures and tuitions or the sessions to the students, any innovative ideas regarding to solve their problems we can use or implement in our class, or anything we can do
Yeah,
to solve
actually,
their problems?
for teacher, actually, I already told actually in our actually lecture in this lecture. Actually, there are the two types of learning. One is the just like we can say one is the active learning, and another is the passive learning. You have to involve your students while you are teaching. That is the one of the best one.
Yes,
Means
sir.
student will ask some question, and that actually for students we have to get we have to give the answer to the students. This is a way, and this is the best way to actually for this actually for this action means mechanism. Students will be creative for asking more and more questions, and this
Yes,
is
sir.
the thing.
Thank you for the illustration. And last one is from my side, that is regarding our research articles. Nowadays, lot of research work is in bulk was going on and still going. Then what are the new techniques or implementations we should apply? As many journals nowadays are paid or made open access. What is
Yeah.
the excuse, or like design thinking or creative thinking is effective there? Can
Yeah, actually,
excuse, or
yeah, right.
we can make a path from it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Actually, what happens nowadays? Actually, doing traditional research is not possible nowadays.
Yes,
Means
sir.
if you are making some device, that is more beneficial. Actually, if there are some pictures of the device when you put in your paper, or you have to some share the video in the paper, that is acceptable nowadays.
Means
Yeah, means
videos
design
and
thinking is
device
actually
application.
application based research papers, they have to be accepted nowadays.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Any doubts from the other participants? Kindly, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
I would like to express sincere thanks to today's resource person, Dr. Anwal Tarwar sir, for it gives lots of information in simple manner. Again, I like to thanks to our honorable principal, Dr. S.T. Salunke sir. Then I thanks to IPC coordinator, Dr. A.N. Dadas sir. Again, I thanks to Sheikh Man, President of IIC. I thanks to Dr. M.J. Lubar sir, Vice President of IIC. V.V. Mamalaya ma'am, Chairman of PD3P4. And lastly, I thanks to all participants. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much for this useful and informative session. From the behalf of our institute and all the participants and IIC and PD3P4 committee, I would propose thanks a lot for this informative session to Dr. Talwar sir, and we would like to see you again. If any programs were there, we would like to invite you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Have
you.
a
ma'am.
nice day, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
We will stop.
May I leave now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All may are free to leave now.